campers, just to let you know before this video starts, as you see in the beginning, right in the beginning there, pretty much throughout the rest of the day there, I was actually struggling quite a bit. I had woken up with a withdrawal headache, which is quite common. They can come and go, and this is the worst one I've had in since the beginning. It was absolutely debilitating. Struggling to get up, struggling to sort of process, get my mind in the right space. But I managed to progress throughout the day, got a lot better, and although, like I said, it did plague me for the rest of the day, it's subsided a little bit, dulled away, and I was able to sort of get on with it. But waking up like that, yeah, it's certainly not fun at all. Just so you know.
Good morning, campers. Welcome back to another East Coast Camp Chasers video. I managed to get into camp pretty late. I'm not at the camp that I wanted to be at. I was trying to get to Currabubula. That campground was shut due to a pony club competition. So there I rocked in here to Weirris Creek. So I come back up the road to Weirris Creek about 5 o'clock. Running behind, I had to stop in Musselbrook to pick up a couple of things. I'd left home, I'd forgotten one of the major components of the camping trip. Something that you really need as a backup if you can't have a campfire. So you'll see that a little bit later on in the video. I didn't get set up with the canopy and the swag and such until about 5:45. We're starting to lose light pretty quickly, so it was a very quick dinner. Just some sausages on bread rolls, some bit of tomato sauce, and that was basically it. Sat down, rested for a bit before I hit the swag. This time around I'm kicking it in the swag, but I'm up on a stretcher. Had a bit of a back niggle, so I thought I'd throw the stretcher in. I sort of always have the stretcher in there whenever we go. 2 stretchers I should say, and 2 swags for my son and I. But it's just a Venture Ridge from memory I picked up off Marketplace, pretty much another freebie off Marketplace. Single stretcher. It's got the little pocket things down there. Now, I did unpack it to make sure, because I know that these stretchers are new, they are a little bit hard to put together, because they've got those bars at either end that clip into the got the cutouts that clip into the little lugs. They can be a bit of a wrestle to get them in and to work them properly. So you do need to get them set up, stretch them a bit. I did have problems getting it put together when I got here, but I got there in the end. There's a trick to it, but when I did unpack it the first time I set it up back at home in the garage, these had little plastic feet that go over the legs. This she did say it had been sitting in the garage for quite a while, and it was still in a box and everything was taped up. There was, but it probably been in there for quite a few years, and the little plastic feet on there had just basically crumbled, just become weak and brittle and break away. Stuck into Bunnings, and these are similar. The rubber feet that are similar to what they put on the bottom of the walking sticks and stuff. The old style of walking sticks, probably the new style as well, with the little round grippy things on the bottom of it. I just grabbed, they come in packs of 4, so I grabbed 2 packs of 4, which gave me the 6 rubber feet and 2 spares. So now know what size fits basically all these stretchers that come in this style. I know that I can get those feet now. You can buy them in white, grey and black. So that's a good thing. to know what size they are and where I can get them. That was pretty easy. And rubber instead of plastic, so they are a little bit grippier if you need to use it on a slippery surface. So I have the Jolly Swagman single here. This was another freebie off of Marketplace, and I do have a I guess it's a king size, or what you call a double, single king maybe, or king single. Both freebies. Both had all their parts except for the little bib that goes across the side here. It's like a foot mat bib. It could have even had compartments in it for your flip-flops and whatever else, but it didn't come with those. Just noticed this morning it's got elongated stitching on both sides. There must be a hoop that you can get that goes in the middle to keep it up off your body a bit. But I mean, there's a reason why I didn't go into buying a domed swag, something that you can sit up in. Yeah, they're great, but yeah, look, it's just somewhere to sleep, and trying to stick to traditional swag sleeping is definitely what I want to do. Be on the ground is more traditional, but yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with using a stretcher. I found it's a little bit more comfortable. Not a huge difference in how comfortable it is, but in saying that, it's a lot easier to get in and out of when you're on a stretcher. I'm just running this is a -5, so it did get quite cool last night, and -5, but this is probably a fleece. So I 100% reckon it's a fleece sleeping bag / doona, because it's not, the -5's not really the rating I'd put this one into. I was quite comfortable and warm, and it only got down to about maybe 7 or 8 degrees overnight, and I was still quite comfortable. I wasn't hot at all. I did have socks, tracksuit pants, and a jumper on with a t-shirt underneath. It's Explore Planet Earth brand. It's the Comus Highlander series, weighs 2.5 kilos. It's a decent size. It's oversized. It's not like just a normal size single sleeping bag. It's built for comfort, basically. I did have a hoodie on, but not for long. I did get a little bit warm around the head, but yeah, it's got ventilation on the one end. I was getting a bit of a draft coming, because this is basically next to the vehicle. The draft coming up underneath my vehicle last night, coming through here, but we definitely need ventilation, because we don't want to get too much condensation inside the swag. No ventilation on the foot end, so it's very much a traditional swag. This mattress here is out of another swag that I picked up off of Marketplace as a freebie. Once again, not even used that one actually. It was still in its box, in its bag as well. Never unpacked, never used, and it was I think it was a Wanderer brand or something like that. I tried to season it and I could never get it to season. It's one of those ones that has a PVC floor stitched in with probably only like a 350 GSM canvas, and it just would not season. I couldn't get it to seal. After a while I even tried weatherproofing spray, and then the next thing from that was probably to use some wax or even some seam sealer, but I just didn't want to, they basically go for nothing. You don't want to be spending too much money on them. I'd spend money on something like this, and because it's a decent Jolly Swagman, one of the better brands on the market, roughly to $400 to $500 swag. Sometimes you'll get them for $350, something like that, brand new. But to get it secondhand for free is pretty good. So I did steal the mattress out of that other swag. It's basically just going to be a I guess it back up until I've, if I find the time and want to invest a little bit of money into making sure it seals, then I'll do that. The Jolly Swagman mattresses are only about 30mm. They're very thin, as you can see there. There's nothing to them. There's no real comfort in them. It's like sleeping directly on the ground, and that's basically it. Whereas this one I took out of the other Swag, it's about a 50mm. So I'm sleeping with at least 80mm of basic foam. It's not a high density or anything like that. Swag does have some little pockets at the back of here just to blow the air vent, the mesh pockets there. Other than that, yeah, quite comfy. Didn't have an issue with comfort. It was quite warm. That's basically what I'm rocking each time I come out here. Basic as it can come. Another little pickup I got was this table. It's a curbside council pickup. They still had the tags and stuff on it. It's a little bit warped, so obviously when they've had it, they've stored it, gotten it wet, so it's a little bit warped. But this is all about getting out and doing it for as cheap as possible. There's nothing more cheaper than, like I've got 3 items there that I didn't pay 1 cent for, and I'm out enjoying the outdoors. Back to the sleeping bag. It was from RTM, which is a specialty store, camping, forward driving and boating store, Bennett's Green in Newcastle. $150 down to $49.95, so I couldn't pass up spending the coin on that sleeping bag. People have been asking me about my sort of setup when I go out just for the 2 or 3 days. So it's a King's 2 metre by 2.5, so 2 metres wide by projection of 2.5 awning. Very basic. This was a marketplace purchase. Guy wanted 190, I think it was. They roughly cost about 250 with the awning and the tent that goes with it. I've only used the tent twice now, but the tent's a good thing to have there as well, just in case you do get a little bit of light wet weather. It's no good for heavy rain or anything like that, or wind, much like the awnings. They're no good for wind either. So I never leave it on the vehicle. I unbolt it and hang it up in the shed. I had to make my own brackets to suit my canopy on my Hilux, but yeah, that's basically it. Went out and purchased the 2 tarps. I can't remember the size of those. I'm guessing they'd be probably 2 metres by 2.5, and I've just basically cable tied it to the support bar on the canopy. Had to cable tie it there to where my drop downs go for my tray back, and then I've just pegged it to the ground with these screw-in pegs. Some more cable ties there, but I missed the ground by about 3 inches, so all I've done is cable tied to my drill-in peg, another cable tie to get the length to go onto the tarp, and just, yeah, basically just cable tied it to some pegs to hold it down. So that's pretty much the setup. Yeah, like I said, pretty basic. As far as the sleeping quarters go, it's really good. You got if you got decent weather, it's no dramas at all. Probably wouldn't go with using something like this if you've got some decent wind, rain. Yeah, okay, it'll keep some rain off you to a certain point, but you're probably better off building like a tarp setup that's more closer to the ground, give you a little bit more shelter, wind resistance over your Swag. But all in all, it is what it is. I mean, the Jolly Swagmans they're pretty much waterproof out of the box. they're ready to go. That's one of their claims. So yeah, no problems with getting wet in that. I have checked it. I've made sure that it's watertight. It's seasoned. The way I got it was fine. I didn't get any sort of ingress or anything like that with that swag, and the doubles, the king singles the same, no ingress. Funny enough, my son uses the Oz Trail Biker or Adventure swag. Basically cheap to buy from you know, sort of it's probably BCF, maybe Anaconda stores, and that thing does not leak at all. I didn't even have to season that one. It's I did test it, I did season it, no water got in at all, and I did hose it, soak it several times, and no water got in whatsoever. So those things are, maybe we're just lucky, but those things, as far as I can tell, are pretty good out of the box as well. Yeah, so I guess while I'm doing this video, I want to put a shout out to a couple of pretty genuine, pretty good guys. I've never met. They are on YouTube as well. So I'll start with the original one I started watching when I decided of my sobriety and wanted to get back into the outdoors and camping, just to get some insight into areas of Australia, particularly the East Coast, and just some hints and tips on best way to get back out there. And it was the bearded bushranger, absolute legend. He's very much a traditional swagman, bushranger type camping. He does some really amazing videos, and I'm always eager to catch up with his latest releases. Next one I'd like to discuss is, or give a shout out to, is Scotty's Gone Walkabout. He was sort of the next one I come across, and he does some amazing work. He's very much into very light hiking, camping, pack rafting, doing it with minimal gear, walk in, walk out type stuff, into some very secluded areas. And then I came across this guy. Genuinely has helped me a lot. He's had some struggles himself, and I guess all these guys are going through struggles themselves at some point, as we all do. But it was just something about Silly Swagman, Matsy, absolute legend. Very much also eager to see his new stuff when he releases it. He brings some real genuine truth into his videos, as do the other guys. But Matsy, he makes me smile. He's a very happy person to watch, and yeah, you can see he has some internal things going on as well, and he talks about those in his videos. And the other guys have spoken about it too, but I got a real fondness for watching things from Silly. So I'd wish I'd come across Silly to begin with. It would have made my YouTube journey a lot easier, but it was good to find Matsy, Silly Swagman, through watching the other guys, and it doesn't detract from me for watching all their videos. So yeah, big shout out to definitely those three. The fourth one I come across, and he makes me laugh as well. He's all his videos are pretty much a common theme. He does a little bit with his wife as well. They love their fishing. They catch a lot of carp, and they're cleaning out the areas the best they can. But that's Yatpil Yowies, absolute legendary channel, and on par. They're just so on par with each other. All four of those channels I've found just teach me new things pretty much every time I watch their channels. That also they're all different characters in their own way, and I absolutely love that. that they all love the same common things, but they have a different way of doing it. Not 100% sure, but I think that's part of the Great Dividing Range. You do sort of come over the Great Dividing Range heading out this way into Liverpool Plains. Some of the most fertile land around, black soil. So yeah, this trip marks 6 months of sobriety, sober from alcohol. Can't stress it enough, guys. If you're trying to beat a habit, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, get out, explore the outdoors. It's great for mental health. It's good for the mind, and yeah, it's something that I'm doing to help get through those difficult times. Removing alcohol from my life, giving myself a better life. There's a train line that runs directly behind where we are, so that's one thing to keep in mind. If you come to Weirris Creek and you're doing the Freedom Camp in Weirris Creek, you do get trains coming through. I did see one XPT train and some freight trains coming through throughout the night. It didn't really disturb me at all. They are loud at times, but most people generally able to sleep through and deal with that sort of thing. So part of the Weirris Creek campgrounds does back onto a footy oval. There was some guys here doing training last night. There's ample room here, plenty of room. We've got a caravan pulled up over the other side here. You can sort of camp right along that outside area of the football oval. There's some basketball courts there. If you've got kids, bring a basketball. They can have a game of full court basketball. And there's also an outdoor gym workout area as well, right next to the basketball courts. Cricket practice nets, I'm assuming they do also use this, like most sporting complexes, for cricket as well. I believe the team here is the Magpies. What you do here, the songbirds of a morning, of an afternoon as well, evening. Plenty of room, so you can camp right down around the back of the oval, right up over to the other side there where the toilets and shower facilities are. There's a couple there. There's a motorhome. There's a little camper, small caravan type camper trailer as well. That's me right over there, just here. I got another guy camping just over here. He's actually homeless at the moment. Nice guy, he's got his problems, but he's keeping to himself. He's not too intrusive. Had a good chat last night, which sort of went into my cooking time for dinner. By the time he sort of went back to his own camp after a good chat, I didn't have much time left to cook up the meal I intended to cook up. So I think I'll leave here and I'll go back to either into find a place in Currabubula, which is about 20 k's back up the road, or I will venture back further to Wallabadar, where I've camped before. Toilet and shower facilities here for use, free use. I'm not sure whether the showers and stuff are timed, but yeah, there's ample toilets and showers. Relatively clean. I did get cleaned yesterday. The ground's a bit grassy and a little bit wet from just me coming and using it now. It's a sink, mirror, power point. You need to charge your phone or plug in your AC shaver of any sort. Nice big rainforest shower head on that. Yeah, and they're hot showers, so that's good. Pretty clean toilet. Do bring your own toilet paper though, because it doesn't always have toilet paper in here from what I've heard. But yeah, got your donation box there for the camp. Please do donate as well. It's goes towards helping keep this place clean and tidy, keeps the grass mowed and pays the employees to obviously the upkeep of this place. Just looking at the map board, so as I was mentioning before, whilst I was laying in the swag, the plan was to go up here to Currabubula, but I had to come back down the road to Weirris Creek. So we're going to do a camp hop from Currabubula back to Weirris Creek, back to possibly Corindi, and then on to Weirris, just depending on how much time I had. But my plan now is obviously to leave here, maybe go and do one of these, might do Bob Shed, possibly do Bob Shed. I definitely need to get there, and maybe even the railway museum. And I did want to stop in at Quipolly Dam recreational area and have a look at that. There is a lookout here somewhere. I think it's in Corindi, so I might stop in at, I might give the railway museum a miss this time and stop in at Corindi, and look at Bob Shed, the lookout, and Quipolly Dam. So that will be about halfway, roughly halfway back, leaving Weirris Creek to Corindi. So the first stop might be Quipolly Dam into Corindi, and we'll see how we're going for time, whether we stop in and go to Bob Shed, the lookout, and Quipolly Dam. But definitely Quipolly Dam, because it is on the way back, and then we'll see how we're going for time for the other ones. I probably should make Bob Shed the priority for this one. Yeah, and obviously if we do stop in at Weirris for another night, leaving Sunday to come back home down through Scone, Musselbrook, Singleton, and back through those little country towns on the way back to Newcastle. Okay guys, being that I pretty much got just outside of Musselbrook and realised that when I had things going through my head trying to work out my best plan of attack, because I did leave home late, I was behind in time. Had to go and do a morning job. Took a little bit longer than what I thought. By the time I got back and unpacked all my detailing gear to get everything I needed for the trip in to the car, I had my double burner camping stove sitting on top of my kitchen pantry box, storage container. I put that aside to move the container out into my canopy. Didn't go back into the garage to pick up the double burner. So guess what? I pretty much got outside of Musselbrook as mentioned, and shit, haven't got my double gas burner. That was supposed to be very much a necessity to the meal I had planned, and so that went out the window. I can still cook this meal, but it's going to take a little bit of ingenuity
bit of a rethink on how I'm going to go about doing it. I did need the double burner to get the meal done. So it was a scramble. I got into Muswellbrook. I pulled over, I looked up online to see what I could find in the way of a Bunnings, a Kmart, a Big W, a hardware store. First stop was Mitre 10 in Muswellbrook. They had all the gas canisters, heat beads, barbecues, portable barbecues. They just didn't have the little gas burners that I was so hoping for. And so I did go to the front of the shop and ask, and she said it's a seasonal thing. They only sort of order them in as a seasonal thing. Spring and summer being the time of year that most people like to go camping, it's the time of year that they don't actually supply or stock those little burners. It's more of a spring and autumn thing that they stock them for. So I requested Google to find me a Kmart. Every time I asked for a Kmart, it gave me a Big W. Kmart because I wanted to go and buy their Campmaster. Similar to a jet boil stove that they have that everyone's been raving about. The other thing I was looking at a while ago was the spider stoves by Campmaster, and they're very compact, sort of all folds up into one unit. And but the only thing that was holding me back from buying that was the price. They want $90 for them. So I found the Big W. I ventured into the Big W. I was already way behind. I think we're looking at we're probably around about 4:30 at that stage, 4:30 p.m. Not much time to get to camp with the light starting to fade, particularly with the Great Dividing Range and the hills and mountains around here. Some are probably going to drop down behind those hills and stuff. So I found the spider stoves, and they're on clearance for $45. The next other thing was the Oz Trail little gas burners, the single element gas burners. They had those for $25, but because I wanted the spider stove and I've been looking at them for a while, just for particularly easy setup and sort of being this time around a solo camp, I couldn't pass it up. So I spent the extra 20 over the $25 one. I spent the $45 to get the spider stove, and better than paying $90 for it. But yeah, can't complain. My hay fever's through the roof at the moment. There's chickweed everywhere in this camp, and luckily I purchased some hay fever tablets before I headed out. I just had a feeling that I was going to start to come down with a bit of hay fever, but anyway, let's have a look at this stove. We'll unpack it, and we'll see whether it's everything that I thought it was going to be. Not looked at a lot of reviews, and I think I've seen one review and it was quite a while ago, so I'm about to review it myself. Okay, the spider stove. As you can see, it's a pretty compact unit. It all folds up into a little handy case. As mentioned, I've been wanting to get one of these for a while. Cooking tonight's meal and tomorrow night's meal is probably going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think we can get by with this. So now I have this in the arsenal. I will get good use out of it anyway. Okay, let's get it unpacked and have a look at it. Nice little handy case, handles, nice and compact, as you can see. Will pack away nicely into my pantry pack there. And got our instruction manual,
all the usual suspects, how to use it safely, how to set it up, how to deal with abnormal operation and maintenance of the unit, keeping things obviously clean, how to clean the jets, the ring burner. I just need to make sure when it goes back in there. Yeah, okay. Excuse the noise, get rid of that. Nice, yeah, pretty compact unit. That's unusual, leather strap. I'm sure you can see that. The leather strap with a little ding. Sounds like it's got bells in it. Obviously to keep it closed, got a little pin on there to lock onto. Yeah, that's unusual, a leather strap. Okay, yeah, it swings out that way. Look at it like this, it might be easier. Blowfly. How does this work? Oh, okay, that just pulls up. Okay, yep. That folds out like that. That gives us our cooking platform. That locks that in place. This is going to stop your pan from obviously going too close to that gas burner. Bit of a stopper on there. That's good. So what I'll do is my trusty little folding pan. This is what I'm going to have to use to get my meal cooked the next 2 nights. So it's not that big. It's good for one person. Although we did use it for bacon and eggs, I think, when we were in Wallabadar last time. So the issue being my double burner actually in the case has a hot plate. So quite a large hot plate, enough to cook on there for at least 4 to 6 people. And so now I've got this, which is, it's not, like I said, it's not a down, it is what it is. The pan fits on there nicely, as you can see. Let me get my thumb in the way. Yeah, alright, so I've got my gas canister here. They're just your run-of-the-mill gas canister. Okay, there's no lockdown pin like you get on the other ones, so how does this work? That's the question. Okay, I'm going to move this hot plate out of the way, or should say frying pan. Sorry, you can't really see this. It's just a quick sort of rundown on them. Okay, that switch is a little bit sort of touchy, so if that's not in the right spot, even when it's turned off, it won't actually lock in. I'll just so we can actually look at what I've done here. So as you can see, it has no locking mechanism, so it's just a matter of making sure that's in the right spot. Go away, blowfly. Make sure that's in the right spot. Okay, so it just pushes in and just sits there, but it's closed over there. Actually, it'll give us a better idea of what this unit looks like. So I think they said you got to shut that. Let's this is what it looks like with the pan on there. It will take a decent sized pan, which is good. Fits my kettle nicely. Beautiful. Saucepan. So this is what's going to form part of my meal prep. So I need to be able to cook one part of my meal with the saucepan and the other part with this. So it's working out how to go about doing it the best way, and obviously keeping things warm. So that's pretty much it. That's set up. So we'll go back to reversing the camera and we'll fire it up. Just got our ignition switch here. That's push in and turn. Oh, gas is engaged, as you can hear there. Bit of wind blowing here at the moment, but oh, that's got a nice strong flame on it. And adjusts down to a nice low flame too, and quite a high flame. So the only downside is obviously the wind. This does not have a wind barrier around the outside to try and stop that wind from blowing up underneath it. I'm inside the canopy, so I can move this little unit around to obviously turns off. So when that's turned on, it has a gas pressure reset button in there as well. That is quite easy to use, easy to set up. I didn't even really look at the instructions. I probably should have. We'll wait for that obviously to cool down so we can pack it away. Look, $45 over paying $90 for it. It's a win. But as mentioned, I think I'm going to struggle with cooking my meal for the next 2 nights on this little thing. I'm glad I realised as I was getting towards Muswellbrook that I didn't have my gas burner, my double gas burner. It's a necessity. And where I am at the moment, I have firewood. We probably are in a low to moderate fire danger weather at the moment, but I do have all my firewood in here. I have my fire pit, my hot plate, spike that goes into the ground so you can slide just the height of the hot plate over the fire, which we didn't have when we went to Broke, but I've put it in this time just in case I need it. So I'm carrying a lot of unnecessary weight with that firewood. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm glad I realised by the time I sort of got to, I'd passed Bunnings in Singleton, and I thought I might just stop in and grab something else that I was thinking about grabbing, and it wouldn't have even occurred to me at Singleton that I'd forgotten it. So I would have left Bunnings, if I'd stopped in here, left Bunnings and realised by the time I got to Muswellbrook, nothing. I probably could have purchased 2 of the $25 ones by Austrail. I hummed and hard and I thought, no, I definitely would rather just spend the $45 instead of $50 on 2 $25 ones, which they're basically, they're very light. They're not, to me, I don't find it that compact, to be honest. In a very, the build quality is not that good. Ironically, I sold 2 of those gas burners when I purchased the double gas burner off of Marketplace, and it still wouldn't have helped me anyway. I would have left home without having either of them. So negative comes a positive, but we've still got a battle to get the meals cooked. So here we go, it's going to be some fun. So packing up's pretty simple. I've just basically grabbing these two spikes, or the platform for the cooking, and just folding them in. That brings that other one down, as you just seen then. That obviously moves with the front mechanism. That closes that up. We then just fold it in, close over the cover, put our little lever tab through there, hook it onto the pin. We're all packed up. Into the box, close the box over, lock the pins on the top, and we're done, we're packed away. Ready for storage, or ready to bring it out, and we're going to cook that meal, the challenging meal.